Hello, everyone in the Evolving with the Universe group on Facebook and also on YouTube. Hi, guys. Welcome to a brand new week. I've been guided to talk a little bit about systems and about how pretty much everything in the universe has a system, which is so interesting for us to have as an awareness. So if you look at it, first off, if you look at ourselves, we have so many different systems going on within us. We have our respiratory system, we have our circulatory system, we have our nervous system. We've got so many systems that run our body, our immune system. I think there's something like 10 or 15 systems that happen within us to make our bodies run the way that they can run for effectiveness. And if one of our systems aren't working to their capacity or to the way that they're meant to be working, then this is where we find that something starts to go wrong. So we've got our inner systems, and it's really important to look at the fact that, and this is why it's so interesting, this is why I actually just, now that I've actually had the awareness of systems, it actually makes sense that systems is actually the thing that's going to help us evolve into our next stages, if you want to call it that. Is, we have so many systems. So we have our inner system, but then the external, there are also systems. We have the solar system. Everything about the universe is actually systemized. So that everything happens without any need for thought or consciousness or anything. Everything just happens. So how can we use this awareness in our own lives? And it just means that we can pretty much systemize everything. What I've personally found, systemizing everything has been an absolute godsend to be able to be here on the planet, in the universe, and to be able to move out of that thinking or the making sure everything's happening, the worrying or the stressing or anything else. It just says to me, when we are in those stages, is that we don't have a clear system. Like if you had a clear system to be able to, again, like with your body, like each area has its clear system to be able to run your body. It's only when we get in the way that these systems don't really work as well. And so if you systemize everything, what happens is that everything starts to work well because no one has to think about what needs to happen. You can have a system in so many different areas in your life, starting with, a system in business. We all have systems. When we go to work, you have a system that you follow. That means that everyone knows what's happening. Everyone knows what's next. Everyone knows how it's meant to go. And so when you follow the system, everything flows really well. Businesses can start to make profit. People can start to know where they're going. People know what they need to do then to get up to the next level, all those sorts of things. So then you've got so many other systems going on in your life that if you then decide to make your own life a system and create your own life system, it's fascinating how when you systemize everything, that things just happen and you are totally in the flow. And not only are things happening in your life to help you move through life when you follow the system, but also everyone else in your life also follows your system too, which is really interesting. It makes life a lot easier when people, they don't even need to know what your system is, but by you living your system, people then start to again, they know just by living with you what your system is, and they start to come on board, and they create then a system of their own, which without consciously or subconsciously, they start to create a system of their own. And so it's really interesting. What I've developed now is this life system. I call it the universal life system. And it's like, I systemize everything from, you know, my day to, and then I have the general day-to-day systems that allow me to, and I get really excited when I get a chance to sit down with my system, and it's almost like you visualize the whole day as to how you want it to run, and you systemize it, which then means you don't have to think about what's going to happen in the day. You don't need to even, you just need to live it. And then what happens is, not only have I found that magic starts to happen when you just live your day through a system, but also you're always constantly receiving and you're constantly growing. And a big part of the system is daily work, which is tuning within, meditating, doing yoga, exercising, all those sorts of things. But again, you don't have to think about doing it. Even eating right is part of the system. And then you can have subsystems in the system. And so subsystems, I tend to look at, say, in my own system, if there's something that's not working, I know it needs to be systemized, which might need, you know, it might come down to, you know, housework, having a housework system. It might be a food and eating system. It might be an exercise system. It might be a business system. And so once we systemize everything, even a parenting system, like, you can systemize everything and you don't have to think about it again. It just flows and everything starts to work. And in essence, I mean, this is all stemmed from when I was a wedding planner, and my weddings were just so well planned that I didn't have to think about all these things that needed to happen. It was just in a foolproof system. But I also had the philosophy that every wedding, I would always learn something new that I could add to my system and make my system better. And imagine if you had a life like that, like a life that was continually getting better. You could do life better each single day, doing life better. And for me, having these systems that you create through intuition is the essence of life on the planet, because whether you know it or not, everything is already systemized. And by creating a system, we're going with the flow of the universe. And yeah, systems are really, really interesting. I found that if I've ever been stuck with anything and I just say, I just need to systemize that. Just say, for example, grief. I just need to systemize it. And then you know how to deal with grief if you systemize it. Dealing with anything, thoughts, systemize it. Situations, systemize it. And then when it happens or whatever, you just know what to do and you don't have to think about it. And just the knowing, again, we're going from thinking and feeling into knowing and sensing, and you're using the intuition to guide you as to what you need to do when you're sitting there and preparing your system for everything. So, and fine-tuning the system every day is incredibly important to making a life not only work, but then to step into, well, what else do I want this life to be? And, you know, what else can I incorporate into this life? And if there's something else that you want to experience and something else that you want to incorporate, you make that part of another system, and then you just get that to flow into your own system to be able to make sure that you do it. And again, it's part of the be, do, have system process. It's like when you're being in yourself and you're being in your own focused energy, alignment, all that sort of thing. And then you do take the action steps. And this is a big part of it. You know, if you're a parent, if you have a business, if you work or whatever, you need a system. You need a system to be able to get through the day. We are busy people. If we wake up and have no idea what's going on, you'll be lost and things will start to crumble. you do need to actually know what you're doing. Everyone else needs to know what you're doing, what's happening, everything else. And if you continually fine tune that system that you already have, things end up, what I've noticed is that not only do things start to work and things start to happen, but magic also happens as well. And I've just found, particularly because I do daily work around my system, and that's what I teach as well, is that the like other people then tend to start to work around your own system and creating, not only working in with your system, but creating their own systems. And again, it's subconscious. So it's literally just habit and behavior. But the most important part of having a system is that this calmness within. I don't know if you can feel that even when you talk about, everything's looked after, everything is systemized, everything is covered. So you don't really need to stress about anything. You don't have to worry about anything. So you can then be again in the alignment, allow your body to be able to behave in a way that's in alignment with you and to its full capacity from a health perspective. And again, your behaviors are always supporting you in your own endeavors to again be doing and having exactly what you want to be, do, and have. So this is just touching the surface of how powerful and amazing systems are. Again, if you look at, we're in a solar system, we're in a universe. We're on a planet that has an ecosystem, like everything is systemized, and we're the only ones that aren't systemized. We don't have a system. And so creating your own system based around your intuition, once you're living that way, it's one of the most powerful things you can ever do. And again, you come in alignment with how the universe works. So it's super cool. Anyway, have a great week. If you guys have got any questions about systemizing or systems, or, life, spirituality, or the universe, pop it below, and we can chat further. I'll see you next week. Bye.